Today is September the 27th. What's a penny worth? Let's find out here as we read a story from the book of Mark and Luke. This occurs right after Matthew's woes against the Pharisees. Mark 12:41-44. He sat down opposite the treasury and watched the crowd putting money into the treasury. Many rich people put in large sums, but a poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which were worth a penny. Then he called his disciples, and he said to them, I tell you truly, this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the treasury, for all of them have contributed out of their abundance. But she, out of her poverty, has put in everything she had, all she had to live on. It's a very quick story in Mark, but very, very pertinent. A widow comes and puts in what many would consider a pittance. Jesus says she's put in more than everyone else. Even in the Old Testament, provision is made for the poor to be able to give. Let's read of that in Leviticus 5:1-13.
Leviticus 5, verses 1 through 13, New Revised Standard Edition. When any of you sin in that you have heard a public adjuration to testify, and although able to testify as one who has seen or learned of the matter, do not speak up, you are subject to punishment. Or when any of you touch any unclean thing, whether the carcass of an unclean beast, or the carcass of an unclean livestock, or the carcass of an unclean swarming thing, and are unaware of it, you have become unclean and are guilty. Or when you touch human uncleanliness, any uncleanliness by which one can become unclean, and are unaware of it, when you come to know of it, you shall be guilty. Or when any of you utter aloud a rash oath for a bad or good purpose, whatever people utter in an oath and are unaware of it, when you come to know it, you shall in any of these be guilty. When you realize your guilt in any of these, you shall confess the sin that you have committed, and you shall bring to the Lord, as your penalty for the sin that you have committed, a female from the flock, a sheep or goat, as a purification offering, and the priest shall make atonement on your behalf for your sin. But if you cannot afford a sheep, you shall bring to the Lord, as your penalty for the sin you have committed, 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, one for a purification offering, and the other for a burnt offering. You shall bring them to the priest, who shall offer first the one for the purification offering, wringing its head at the nape without severing it. He shall sprinkle some of the blood of the purification offering on the side of the altar, while the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. It is a purification offering. And the second he shall offer for a burnt offering according to the regulation. Thus the priest shall make atonement on your behalf for the sin that you have committed, and you shall be forgiven. But if you cannot afford 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, you shall bring your offering for the sin that you have committed 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour, or a purification offering. You shall not put oil on it or lay frankincense on it, for it is a purification offering. You shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall scoop up a handful of it as its memorial portion, and turn this into smoke on the altar, with the offerings by fire to the Lord. It is a purification offering. Thus the priest shall make atonement on your behalf for whichever of these sins you have committed, and you shall be forgiven. As with the grain offering, the rest shall be for the priest.
So in Leviticus 5, there are gradual decreases in what can be given. What can be given is according to one's ability, but everyone gives. A penny at this time was worth about 1/128th of a day's wage. That's about $1.10. So why even bother? Because in God's eyes, a penny is worth a lot. Jesus said, she gave everything she had. God honors that, apparently. God doesn't look at what is given. He looks at what you have left after you've given. So what do we do about this today? It's a great time to evaluate your giving. Scripture reading from the New Revised Standard Version by Emily Herrera. If you live in the Greenwood, Indiana area and you're looking for a church, come check out New Hope Church. We're at 5307 West Fairview Road. Our Sunday morning service begins at 10 a.m. I'd love to see you there.